So here we are, almost a quarter of the way through the 21st century. Should the BBC, is it time for them to become a pay-per-view service? The corporation's DG, Director General Tim Davies, suggested yesterday that the TV licence could be reformed, saying that he's open to introducing a more progressive model.
So, with the licence fee going up to £169.50 on the 1st of April, should it be swapped for a pay-per-view system? Peter Duncan, who presented the BBC's Blue Peter for 5 years, doesn't think the licence fee should be replaced. Broadcaster Dawn Neeson says pay-per-view is the way forward. Morning to you both.
Morning. Hiya.
Peter Duncan, I'm a huge fan of the BBC. I am grateful to the BBC, but we have been inundated this morning with people saying, I don't want to pay £169.50 for something that I might not watch all the time. Why should they?
The BBC has always been about the sense of community and fairness, and I don't think pay-per-view would work. I think people have to find a way of supporting it, a bit like the NHS. It's dysfunctional, it doesn't always work very well, and people want to try and change it, and it tries to keep up.
Why wouldn't it work, Peter? Sorry?
Because
it works for
because
other
it's such a sprawling organisation. It has so many assets. It's not like going on Netflix. Oh, I'll watch that movie and I've signed up and I just click and I can watch it. You'd have to go to sounds. You'd have to go to iPlay. It would be too complicated, I think.
So you're arguing that that licence fee is like any other tax. It sort of pays for something that we all benefit from, even if you feel like you don't benefit from certain parts of it.
I think so, and also in this world, you know, we live in a great democracy, I still think, and we are able to sort of have truth. I mean, the BBC is a bastion of truth, or tries to be, and the rest of the world turning the other way. I think that's really important, and the BBC is so respected in the rest of the world because of that fairness.
Well, case...
That was scary.
Case for the cross.
Well, Tim Davies finally saying what most of us are thinking, but the system needs... It's 100 years old, a bit like the NHS piece that you mentioned. It's a system that worked when it was invented, doesn't work now anymore. Times are moving on. The average viewer of the BBC is 61 years old, and only 1 in 20 under 25s watch BBC programmes. So it has... They're Netflixing, they're YouTubing, they are paying to watch other things, and they don't mind doing
My kids are in their 30s and they barely watch it.
Yeah, and you're not that old, surely. But I mean, but it has moved on. And unlike Tim Davies, the difference is, I mean, he seems to have this arrogance that the world will collapse without the BBC. I mean, you know, I can live without Gary Lineker lectures, thank you very much.
OK, but putting Gary Lineker to one side, that group of younger people might think they don't watch the BBC, but they probably listen to Radio 1 or Radio 1 Extra, or they'll be watching clips on TikTok that have come from the BBC.
Right, OK.
And they are almost certainly, I bet they're watching Match of the Day, actually bringing Gary Lineker back into it.
I think this is one of the solutions, Susanna, is actually get rid of the licence fee, OK, but charge for the clips and the streaming that they put out, which they're not doing now. Make more of the marketing arm of the BBC, which makes millions already. They need to concentrate on that. If you want to watch the BBC, fine. Pay to watch it.
Yes, no one's suggesting that we should watch the BBC for free or listen to Radio 1 for free or anything like that. I think what's been said is if you have a television at the moment, you have to have a TV licence. It's not a BBC licence, it's a TV licence. And I'm fully in your corner, and with the majority of people watching this, what is too difficult in the digital age? Simply say that just as with Netflix, if I don't pay my Netflix fees, I can't watch it, I can't access it. If I don't pay my BBC licence fee, I can't watch it. So I pay it, and I've got access to all those services. I don't pay it, and I can't watch.
I think it's because it's the institution. Just because something's old and the system is old, it doesn't mean you have to do away with it. Tim Davies does say, yeah, we've got to change, we've got to become more interactive, we've got to do things that are different in the future to pay for it, because they can't really use advertising.
What about one of the suggestions floated, just like tax, if you earn more, you pay more. Like, you know, the BBC licence fee is a flat fee, so no matter what you earn, you're still paying £169.50.
Rich people aren't going to be happy with that, are they? You know, I mean, I think it's got to be fair.
Rich people are very good at avoiding paying tax.
Maybe rich people should pay a little bit more for their licence fee. Look, we have managed to win people over a little bit to the other side. Richard, swap the licence fee for pay-per-view. 56 yes, 44 no. Thank you
That's a
both
narrow
very
win.
much
That's a narrow
indeed.
win.